Thank you so much, Krista and Ryan, for all that great information. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Christy Christensen. I've worked on this Ginnie Mae contract for more than 4 years. I also worked in mortgage servicing for 18 years. Prior to becoming a Ginnie Mae issuer analyst, excuse me, I did work for a couple of different mortgage servicers in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Debbie, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi there, everyone. I'm Debbie Bowles, and I'm one of the newer members of the Ginnie Mae Issuer Support Team. I was previously in investor reporting for 15 years in the Kansas City, Missouri area. And Melanie, if you'd introduce yourself.
Sure, thanks, Debbie. Hello, everyone. I am the newest member of the Ginnie Mae Issuer Support Team. I've worked in mortgage servicing and investor reporting and accounting for many years, and I'm very glad to be here today with you all. I'll now turn it over to Christy.
Thank you, ladies. So let's use some of those tools that we just talked about. So would you raise your hand if you are new to the Ginnie Mae program? And the hands are right up there at the top of the screen with a little drop down. Okay, wonderful. Okay, we've got a few new folks, so that's great. Okay, and if we could clear the hands. So if we could turn on the annotation bar, please. So do you have experience with the Ginnie Mae reporting? If you are brand new using the stickers, would you place a cross on the left side of the screen? And if you have more than a year of experience, would you put a check mark on the right side of the screen? Okay. All right, so we got a few new and then quite a few experienced. So wonderful. That is great. If we could clear the stickers, please. So our next question is, do you use a subservicer? If you could give me a thumbs up for yes if you use a subservicer. And the thumbs are up by the hands and the little drop down. Okay, so I'm not seeing any thumbs. Okay, so do you use an in-house system or a service bureau? Using the stickers, if you could put a cross on the left side of the screen if you use an in-house system, and put a check on the right side of the screen if you use a service bureau. So we're just trying to see kind of how many Okay, so the X's on the left side is the in-house. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank everyone for all of your participation in that so far. Okay, so today we will focus on the 4 bolded modules on this slide. In this module, we will list out the issuer's primary responsibilities, describe the characteristics of subservicing partnerships, and discuss consequences of noncompliance. A few hot topics that we will be discussing during the training. Ginnie Mae reporting requirements. So regarding scheduled FIC changes, issuers need to notify their Ginnie Mae account executive of any changes to FICs 30 to 45 days prior to the change. There was a webinar on this topic on August 31st. The recording will be posted on the training recording page on ginniemay.gov. Our next topic is RFS enhancements. The most recent RFS enhancement effective today is that the tax ID number is no longer a required field on the loan screen in RFS. This should make querying your loan level exceptions easier. We will also discuss cash management and any questions that you would like us to address. Please place any questions that you have in the chat box during the training. Issuers' primary responsibilities are having employees with Ginnie Mae requirements knowledge, a QC mortgage plan, ability to service Ginnie Mae pools within the MBS guidelines and guarantee agreement, also meet all the reporting deadlines, maintain proper P&I and escrow accounts, ensure sufficient funds are available for ACH P&I draft, and if you use a subservicer, ensure they are compliant with all the guidelines and reporting requirements. So what should a subservicing partnership be? It should be proactive on the issuer's part, ongoing, customized to your organization's needs, include all issuer responsibilities, and have an issuer oversight of the subservicer's monthly performance. A very important note, as a Ginnie Mae issuer, you are accountable for the subservicer's actions and reporting. For those of you using a subservicer, could you give me a thumbs up if you communicate with your subservicer weekly, and a thumbs down if you do not communicate with your subservicer weekly? Okay. I'm not seeing any thumbs, but Ashley, I do see your woohoo comment in the group chat. I'm assuming that's because of the new RFS enhancement that is effective today. So that is great. Okay. So we will now continue with reference documentation. In this module, we will list out the available resources and reference documentation available to issuers, discuss useful resources for job tasks, and explain Ginnie Mae loan terms. The Ginnie Mae hotline number is 1-833-GINNIE-MAY-HELP. If you notice, Ginnie Mae Help has one more digit than 466-2435. Therefore, the last digit is dropped. Option 1 is the Ginnie Net hotline with an additional 5 options, and option 2 is for RFS, which is investor reporting, with an additional 5 options. Option 3 is for PDD and VTT. I will now turn it over to Debbie.
Right. Thank you, Christy. The homepage for Ginnie Mae website is www.ginniemay.gov. And can I have a show of hands if you have visited the site ever or recently? Yay, I am seeing lots of hands. Wonderful. All right, thank you. And you can clear the hands. This slide shows a happy couple outside their new home. I imagine it's their new home since it appears she's holding a set of keys. How exciting. The website has a ton of useful information. The website provides bulletins on the latest news, links to program guidelines such as MBS Guide in the different section of the guide, APMs, notes and news, and issuer tools such as Pool Dates Calendar. Just above the picture of the couple are navigation tabs where you select the topic you'd like to view. issuer and investors, disclosure, newsroom, and about us. At the bottom of every page of the website, there's a box to enter your email address if you'd like to subscribe to notices and bulletins for several subscriptions, such as APMs, notes and news, training announcements, and outreach calls. If you decide to subscribe, which I would highly recommend, you get a lot of information there. Please review the site every couple of months to see if additional subscription categories have been added. When you place your cursor on any of the tabs, a drop-down box will show a list of subjects you can select. I've selected the Issuer tab on this slide. You can see another set of tabs for program guidelines, issuer tools, issuer training, third-party provider, and system applications. Within each tab, there are additional topics you can access. Please take the time to review and become familiar with the information provided on Ginnie Mae's website. Here are some links to the websites, along with specific links to the MBS guide. The Issuer tab provides access to areas such as program guidelines, issuer tools, and issuer training. This includes the Ginnie Mae MBS guide, APMs, and investor reporting manual. The Ginnie Mae MBS guide provides specific information concerning each program type. Specific to multifamily issuers are Chapter 31, project loan pools, and Chapter 32, construction loan pools. We also have a link to MBS guide appendices. The guide appendices are the instructions for certain forms that Ginnie Mae requires for pool administration. One of the main appendices we will refer to is Appendix 6-19, Issuer's Report for Pool and Loan Data. During Day 2 and Day 3, we will refer to Appendix 6-19 several times. This document provides information about Ginnie Mae's requirements for monthly pool and loan level reporting, along with the specific file layout for all pool and loan records. It also provides the description of each alert and error message. The last two links are for note and news and APMs, and a link to the FAQ section. This is a short list of some Ginnie Mae terms used that are sometimes confusing to issuers. One term is FIC. FIC is short for Fixed Installment Control, also known as P&I payment. Many issuers use the term P&I payment. So just to help out, are any of these terms confusing to you? If so, enter them in the chat box, and we'd be more than happy to expand on them. I know when I first started out, quite a few of these were confusing. But all right, I will now turn it over to Christy. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Debbie. The next section is RFS reporting timelines. In this module, we will cover RFS reporting deadlines for pools and loans, describe the sequence of actions within the timeline, including deadlines of reporting pool and loan data, and discuss when critical exceptions must be cleared. For each pool and loan package, issuers must submit 100% of their monthly pool and loan data by close of business, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the second business day. Here we have a snapshot of important dates, which will be explained in more detail on the next slide. A quick story. A few months ago, we had an issuer who failed to report 100% of their pool and loan data. Therefore, they were missing a pool and a loan. They were reported to Ginnie Mae as missing the 7 p.m. Eastern Time second business day deadline, which may result in a monetary penalty from Ginnie Mae. This is a snippet of the full monthly RFS timeline. RFS opens on the 25th of the month for reporting. On the morning of the first calendar day, RFS opens for file submissions. Even if the first calendar day is on a weekend or a holiday, we work to open RFS. After the issuer files are processed, RFS feedback is posted in e-notification. The initial pre-collection notice is available on the third business day, which is based on the second business day RFS Pool Record Security RPB. Prepayment penalties must be reported by 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the fourth business day. However, they may be reported as early as the first business day. The final pre-collection notice is available on the sixth business day, which is based on the fourth business day final RFS Pool Record Security RPB. The final pre-K must be reviewed for any changes from the initial pre-K, including any changes in the prepayment penalty amount. The monthly reporting certification opens beginning on the 10th business day, with the deadline being 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the 14th business day. Guarantee fee is drafted from your designated bank account on the 10th calendar day. Please see Chapter 6 of the MBS Guide if calendar days are not business days. P&I remittance is drafted on the 15th calendar day. See Chapter 15 of the MBS Guide if the calendar days are not business days. Then on the 25th calendar day, RFS closes for the current month reporting and opens for the next month's reporting cycle.
Christy, this is Krista. Really quickly, I just wanted to chime in
Sure.
and say, regarding the prepayment penalties, ideally we would love them to be reported by the second business day. You do have to the fourth, but just to make sure we get ahead of any issues or anything like that, the second business day is ideal. So if you can keep that in the back of your mind, and you'll be hearing from us if we don't see it by the second business day.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Krista. And so is the main logic for that so they are flowing through to the initial pre-collection notice?
Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for adding that, Krista. Okay, this slide and the next two slides is a complete monthly investor reporting workflow. We have received feedback from issuers where they use this document every month to check off completed activities. This begins on the 25th calendar day when RFS opens and continues through the fourth business day. Would you please raise your hand if you would use this document to ensure that you are meeting reporting deadlines? Wonderful. I see lots of hands. Thank you. If we could clear the hands, please. So this shows the fifth business day through the 15th calendar day. And this shows the 25th calendar day when RFS closes, with a few monthly, quarterly, and annual items that we will be reviewing throughout the training. Can we please post our polling question? Thank you. So if we could have everyone vote, please. So our question is, what is the deadline for reporting 100% of pool and loan data? we will give it a few more seconds. Okay, if we could end the poll and broadcast the results, please. So it looks like 82% of the folks that voted got this correct. The deadline is 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the second business day, which is the deadline for reporting all of your pool and loan data. I will now turn it over to Melanie.
Thank you, Christy. In this portion of the training, we are going to discuss e-notification and the importance of reviewing the data that flows into e-notification. Okay, so in this module, we'll review the different notification types. Our objective is to help you identify the critical job alerts, decipher which information is critical, and also review how you may address your e-notifications. Okay, so e-notification is an online function accessible via MGM within RFS applications. E-notification supports investor reporting as well as other areas by providing notices, reports, and news updates. A few of the notices and their purpose are shown here and will be discussed throughout this training. If you have not viewed your e-notifications, please raise your hand. Hey, I'm not seeing raised hands, so I'm assuming everyone is viewing their e-notification. Very good. Very good. Okay, so e-notification, letters of credit, notices from Ginnie Mae, outreach calls, notice of new pools certified, and other important items are all posted in e-notification. The MWX Issuer Detail Report generates once a year at the issuer's fiscal year end and remains available in eNote for 180 days. And this is a recent RFS enhancement. So that's just good to know that it's out there for issuers for 180 days. It is recommended that you view your eNote daily, as e-notification provides time-sensitive notices. So notices may be posted daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually. The notices may be displayed as formatted or as raw data. Most of the notices are linked to the most available content for you, the issuer. So a good example of that is the pre-collection report. The pre-collection report posts on the 3rd and 6th business day of each month. It is to be noted, if you do not pull and save the 3rd business day notice prior to the 6th business day, you will not be able to retrieve the initial 3rd business day pre-collection notice. Okay, so once the final pre-collection notice posts in e-notification, the pre-collection data will override the initial data from the 3rd and will only reflect the 6th business day information. Okay, so on the screen, you'll notice PA functional acknowledgement. The PA functional acknowledgement is posted when a data file transmission is accepted or rejected. And just above the next notice is PA exception feedback. The PA exception feedback will post each time a file is accepted. Okay, and if your notice was not pulled and saved, the data is no longer available for you to view, you can give us a call. You can call the Ginnie Mae hotline at 833-466-2435, option 2, then option 1. Okay, and when calling us, please provide the subject, title, and date of the notice you are requesting. Okay, so to access e-notification, once you've signed onto MGM, select Tools, and under Applications, there you'll select eNote. Please raise your hand if you have access to eNote. Great. Very good, very good. Very good. Thank you for the participation. Good. I'm glad you guys are looking at your eNote. Okay, please clear the hands. Okay, so e-notification provides a method for your company to receive an email notice when an item has been posted. This is called a passive email. So only one email address is used per issuer, and a message will be sent to that one email address informing you that there is a notice in e-notification. So since only one email address can be used, it is suggested that you provide a group email for all of your notices. Okay, so here's an example of an e-notification page. To view a notice, simply click on the named link. If a file is embedded in the message, you will right-click on the file name to download the file. Okay, in the chat box, can you tell me why some of the notices are red and some are black? Thank you, Nicole. Red versus, that's right, Nick. That is correct. That's right. Thank you for the participation. You all are correct. So when the e-notification screen is viewed, the color black identifies that the e-note was read, and the read by column identifies who read the e-note and the date. And on our end, we also can tell if you've read your e-notification. The items in red were not viewed. Okay, so also in e-notification, you'll see your commitment authority posted every day. Please note that the commitment authority is one of those e-notes that is overwritten daily. Okay, so you'll want to make sure that you're viewing that commitment authority every day. And the pre-collection notice, as I mentioned earlier, it's posted twice. The initial pre-collection notice posts on the 3rd business day and is overwritten once the 6th business day pre-collection notice is posted. Okay, again, some notices include a file for download, as this example here. Once you select the notification file name, another screen will display a link to the file. So to view and download the file, you will right-click and you'll see the option to display the file in a new tab or in a new window. The file opens in CSV format. However, you may prefer, to save the file as CSV or Excel. And as we discussed earlier, you will see a functional acknowledgement in e-notification when you upload or transmit a file to RFS. Now, functional acknowledgement will show an accept flag or a reject flag for your files. If you receive the reject flag, what would you do? If you notice your file has rejected, what would you do? Please provide your answer in the chat box. Thank you, Nabar. Review and re-upload. Yes, that is correct. So when submitting a file, please do not assume the file has loaded. Please check for that accept or reject flag for all of your files. If the file rejects, there will be a reason listed on the functional acknowledgement file. You will need to correct the issue and upload a new file. So that is correct. Okay, so here's an example of a PA exception feedback notice with a file in the message. To access the file, you will first click on the e-notification file name PA Exception Feedback. Another screen will display with a link to the file, and you will right-click to open the file in CSV format. Again, you may want to save the file as CSV or Excel. You have the option to save as either or. However, you may prefer to save the file in Excel, as typically Excel is a better option for formatting and sorting your data. Okay, and here's an example of a downloaded exception feedback file. If a file is saved as Excel, you can format the file using any of the data. So as you see here, the severity of the exceptions are listed in column D. Okay. Most of the exceptions shown here are critical exceptions, C-level exceptions, meaning that they should be cleared on the 4th business day by 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, issuers determine their best method for clearing exceptions based on feedback we've received over time. Some issuers may sort the data and split the exception work between their employees. Some issuers rotate exceptions by severity so everyone can become familiar with clearing the alerts. Okay, using the chat box, how does the exception feedback download help you complete your job? Thank you again for the participation. It's really good to see. Hopefully you all are downloading your exception feedback. Okay, John helps to ensure the data reported is accurate. Yes. New bar makes it real easy to tackle exceptions. That's right, in an organized manner. That's right, because you can sort and format that data, and that's right, sort by severity to work critical for first. Thank you very much. That is correct. Okay, so the document displayed here, this is the pre-collection notice. I'm sure you all have probably seen your pre-collection notice and are reviewing your pre-collection notice. The pre-collection notice is posted on the 3rd and 6th business day. Does anyone know why this document is important? Again, please use the chat box. Why is the pre-collection notice so very important? That's right, Megan. Yes. Displays the draft amount. Sandra for sweeps. Yes. Nick Manning, verify and review draft amount along with UPB reported on construction loans. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so the pre-collection notice is very important. It provides your ACH bank account information, the draft amounts for the guarantee fee, and the P&I remittance. It also provides the date that the ACH remittance draft will occur. And that's right, Nubar, it shows prepayment penalties and the UPBs for construction loans, as Nick had mentioned. Very good. Thank you for the responses. Okay, I will now turn it over to Christy.
Thank you so much, Melanie. And then I did see where John added that the pre-K is evidence that the loan payoffs have been recorded properly. And yes, that is very true to make sure that the pool ending balance is reported correctly. So, okay, so we have a few questions here. So if we could post our first one. Okay. So what is the deadline to report 100% of pool and loan data? And yes, this is the exact same question that we asked a little bit ago. Before Melanie went over all that wonderful eNote information, and we asked this because it is a very important deadline. We'll give it a few more seconds. Okay, if we could end the poll, thank you. So it does look like 92% of the folks that voted did get this correct. So the correct answer is 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the second business day. Okay, if we can post the next question, please. So what is the deadline to clear critical alerts or exceptions? So this is something Melanie went over just a few minutes ago. And we'll give it a few more seconds. Okay, if we can end the poll, and thank you. So the correct answer is 7 p.m. on the fourth business day. So the second business day deadline at 7 p.m. Eastern Time is to have all of your loan and pull data reported, and then the fourth business day 7 p.m. deadline is for all your critical exceptions to be cleared. Okay, if we can post our last polling question of the day, please. So, true or false, can operations confirm if you have read your eNotes? We will give that a few more seconds. Okay, if we can end the poll. Thank you. So yes, 96% got this question correct, and the answer is true. Operations can tell, because we can see just exactly what you can see on the e-notification screen if it is red or black to know if you have read your e-notifications. Thank you guys so much for your participation. So now as a group, we will analyze the e-notification screen. We will discuss the following list of items and the actions that these notifications require. Okay, so here the unique loan IDs is the third one down, and it opens as a text file. So does anyone have any questions about that? If you do, you can unmute yourself if you're using the app or type them in the chat box. And so our next one is our pre-collection notice, which is toward the bottom. These can be opened as a PDF in a formatted option or as a text file in the raw option. I know that we do have some issuers that open it as the raw text file and then they export that into Excel. So I don't know if that would be a helpful little tip. Okay, so the next one we have is the PA exception feedback, which is one of the items that Melanie went over. This is, it shows your outstanding exceptions after your file loads. Okay. So then our next one is the PA functional acknowledgement. It is at the bottom. It tells you if your file was accepted or rejected, like Melanie went over just a few minutes ago. So then we also have our issuer detail report, which is the annual MWX report with all of your fiscal year-end information. And like Melanie mentioned earlier, this was an RFS enhancement, so this MWX report will show at the bottom of your eNote screen for 180 days after your fiscal year end. Okay. So then the last two are the custodial account verifications and matching and suspense, which we will be covering on Friday during our training session. So does anyone have any comments or questions about our e-notification screen? Okay. So if anyone has any questions, you can unmute yourself or type them in the chat box. And also I would like if any of the Ginnie Mae account executives have anything that they would like to add to today's session.
Think that we are good from the Ginnie Mae side.
Thank you, Krista. Okay. If we don't have any questions, we would like to thank you for your attendance and attention today. We hope that you join us Wednesday for the next session, where we will cover the RFS monthly report of pool and loan data, RFS exception feedback, and overview of the reporting workflow. At the beginning of session 2, we will ask you for the most important topic that stood out to you today or from today's session, and if you have any unresolved questions. I will now turn it over for the survey questions.